change, whether or not we clip our bird's wings. Previously, my mom wanted to keep them trimmed to keep me quiet whenever we opened the door. However, this year, that changed. She knew Pear could fly at a height higher than the average person, and due to it, she also screamed at an open door. One time, one of her friends came over, probably forgot we had birds, and left the door wide open, wide enough for 3 people. Although the birds were locked up inside their cages since it was their afternoon napping time, my mom didn't know about that and immediately told her friend to close the door along with why she shouldn't repeat that mistake. This changed her way of thinking from clipping her bird's wings to letting them fly freely. I'd always believed in letting them fly because it made logical sense, but what confused me was the fact that she kept on changing her mind before. Before, when I wanted that too, you said that we should disown our birds if I couldn't cooperate with you. Ballet due to scoliosis was emotionally draining and actually killing me physically, so owning birds helped me find what my true passion was, birds. If that were to be taken away from me, what was I supposed to do then? I burst out crying, remembering how awful they treated me, along with the possibility of disowning birds. But when I thought my mom would scream at me again and again and alter her mindset, she brought me in for a big hug. I'm so sorry. I promise that I'm not going to change my mind again because the birds might hate it as well. We might just have to take extra precaution together with open doors from now on. I nodded, ready for a flooded year ahead of me. I was so thankful for my mom's understanding and change. Pear's droppings, also known as his poop, also became way better with pellets in the food mix. Bluey, we should let our birds' wings grow out, my grandma said. Before, when I wanted that too, you said we should disown our birds if I couldn't cooperate with you. I'm so sorry. I promise that I'm not going to change my mind again because the birds might hate it as well. We just have to take extra precaution together with open doors from now on. I'm glad you've changed so that no one, especially Ashlyn, would come on our non-flying skills. The last time that happened, I was way too outraged, but after our wings grow out, we'd become unbeatable. Furthermore, I could never imagine losing my mom or my grandma. I was so glad that the disowning act did not occur. Besides, the move at the very beginning of my life was bad enough, though I wasn't especially close to anyone at the time yet. If it happened when I was a month away from turning 2, it would feel like Pear not being able to spend his second birthday with Pearl. Speaking of Pear, it was his birthday, just a little later in the day, but not quite noon yet. But having had this talk to smoothen arguments out really helped push the boulder away. Pear, we should let our birds' wings grow out, my grandma said. Before, when I wanted that too, you said we would disown our birds if I couldn't cooperate with you. I'm so sorry. I promise that I'm not going to change my mind again because the birds might hate it as well. We just have to move on and take extra precaution together with open doors from now on. So, does that mean Mika doesn't have to face either a lifetime of walking and have to depend on humans like me last year, along with the other half of 2019, nor being able to fly for the first part of life and now losing that ability from the cruelness of humans for the second part like Bluey? It was necessary to let Mika feel like a real bird, though all birds from Omar's exotic birds had clipped wings. It had come to my concern that a good amount of humans didn't know exactly how a clipped bird felt and looked, so putting it in human form I think would be much more understandable. It was basically tying one's child's hands behind them and letting them run around while crashing into walls. It was like an attempt to break their bones. Didn't want to repeat history there. My mom and grandma brought me to the bird store every month, but once I overheard their conversation when I couldn't fly at all, at probably the worst time of all. One of their birds, who of course couldn't fly, tried to but obviously failed and broke their leg. Flying for us wasn't just a lifetime of freedom, but it was also a form of protection. Well, them both promising us a free life was the best birthday present yet.